Hey everybody, Jeff Jansen here. Problems with this thing, I can see that. How's everybody doing today? I may have to go to my cell signal if it keeps bouncing out. Now, if you're looking at my face, you notice I do have some type of glasses on. These are HD glasses. I got them off Amazon. I'm trying them out. Since it's raining and everything out, I thought I'd give these HD glasses a try. So far, they work pretty good. They change kind of the light, and I can see ahead of me a little bit further. Not because they magnify, but it kind of gets rid of that haze when there's water in the air. So they work pretty good. So anyway, today is the day after Thanksgiving. It is Black Friday. I hope everybody has been safe today. I hope everybody got enough to eat at Thanksgiving time. I hope those that didn't get a chance to have family come in town, they understand that no matter what, you still matter and you're important. So, we're going into the weekend, and now it's like shopping season. So everybody and their brother is going to be shopping, getting everything done. Just know this, you know, courtesy goes a long way. Be nice to people that are out there. Be respectful. You know, kindness is returned in full every time. So when you're out there, you know, at no time should you be getting mad because you need a consumer product, you know. You should be able to, you know, find something. If somebody needs a little help, maybe helping somebody get something off a top shelf. Maybe being nice to somebody that their kids are all over the place and helping them out, putting something in the shopping cart, or you know, just being kind to somebody, shaking a vet's hand that you see that has a military hat on. You know, maybe somebody needs a prayer in the middle of a store and you want to go pray with them real quick because it just looks like they're ready to break down and fall apart. Because it's just a stressful time of year because we are a consumer-based society, which means if people think they can't buy something, they get panicky. And if you're that person, remember this. Items mean nothing. They get thrown away. They get tossed away. You know what the best thing you can give your family and friends is you. Giving them a call up. Don't buy love. Don't buy friendship. You know the best way to show somebody good friendship is to call them up out of the blue. The best way to treat your sisters and brothers and stuff is just to say, hey, you mean the world to me. I love you to death. Your nieces, your nephews, your sons, your daughters, your kids, your parents. All you have to do is be kind. All you have to do is give people a chance to understand that they matter. Okay? To basically give a handshake when it's needed. Give a hug when it's needed. You know, basically just being there for somebody. Don't worry about what you have to buy, about how much money you have in your wallet. You know what you need to worry about? Worry about this. When you die, you can take nothing with you. But when you die, there's going to be people coming to your funeral. And you know what they're going to talk about? How many times you shook their hand. How many times you gave them a call. They're going to talk about what you meant to them. How it mattered. And like me, to this day, there was a kind lady. She didn't have any money or anything else. And she was a taxi cab driver. So let me give you a quick story about this taxi cab driver that became family to me. I'm in the Marine Corps. The Marines around me are all oorah, motivational, you know, yut this and yut that. Yut is a form of speaking in the Marine Corps. And here, all of a sudden, I called a taxi company one day because I had to get off base. And we were at Lejeune, and we were new, and we didn't know what was going on. So basically, what I wanted to do was I wanted to go out in Jacksonville, North Carolina, because this was going to be my home for the next 4, 5, 6, 8, 10 years, whatever it was going to be at the time. And I wanted to see around. So me and my roommate, Richardson, we were up there and everything else, and I called a taxi. Well, the thing about it is, they didn't give me a name for the taxi cab driver that was coming to get me. And I was waiting. And there was a taxi cab sitting there. Anyway, I've come out of my barracks room. And all of a sudden, I get in a different taxi. So this lady comes barreling over to me and everything else. And, hey, wait a minute. You called this taxi, blah, yes. And are you, yeah. Anyway, so she assumes to go off on the other taxi cab driver. It's really actually kind of funny. Now I'm like, uh-oh. So, anyway, I took the one taxi out in town, not thinking anything of it. Well, that same day, I needed another taxi. Same lady came to pick me up. I got in. I got a scolding like you want to believe from a taxi cab driver. I'm like, who the heck do you think you are giving me a scolding? I didn't say that. I was scared to death. But anyway, needless to say, her name was Kitty. Catherine Bolton. And she used to be in the military years ago, and she lived in Jacksonville, North Carolina. I told her who I was, and we started talking. Seemed like a really nice lady. So I like to go out in town, so every time I call the taxi company, I call her up. Well, I slowly got to know her. Now, she was about 20 years older than me. An older lady that just, she had a beautiful dog, you know, she loved her family. And so she introduced me to her family, like, you know what, you're not like most Marines out here. You like doing things on your own. You like, and I was like, I kind of do my best. Over time, I got to know this lady, and she became family. How'd she become family? She never bought me anything. In fact, I paid for my taxi rides. But she introduced me to her family. She welcomed me into her family. I had Thanksgivings there. I had Christmases there, New Year's. I did all this stuff with a lady that I never once knew. And she was a taxi cab driver from North Carolina. And in her own way, she kind of saved my life because I needed that extra. In the Marine Corps, you need a hiding place. Not a closet, not anything like that. You need to get away from what you do every single day in order to keep your sanity. And I became friends with her. She introduced me to some of the greatest eating spots. You know, at the time I was dating her niece's college roommate, who was a pure angel. And we just got along great. It was family. And we just, you know, I baked and cooked with them, the family. I got to know their entire family. And they became very important to me, like my own family. And at no time did it cost me money or anything other than just staying in communication with them, staying in contact with them, talking to them. And over time, you know, once I got out of the Marine Corps, it's kind of funny because I also asked for rides. I'd have her come pick me up at Raleigh, North Carolina Airport, which is almost 3 hours away from Jacksonville. And what's funny about that is I didn't mind because I didn't have to have a car because I got in a wreck with my truck at the time too. And even when I got my truck, she helped me find Marine, it was called Marine something or another, was where I got my truck at. And she told me about the hurricane discounts and everything else. And we just became the best of friends. In a time where I needed a friend really bad. And, you know, God put her in my path because he knew that, you know, I've got a very close family, a tight-knit family, a family that I love with my entire heart, but my family is not in North Carolina. They're not in Jacksonville. But because of that kindness, when I went overseas, I'd go out of town, I would treat everybody else with kindness also because it's just who I am. And believe it or not, I got to eat some of the greatest restaurants. I went to some of the greatest bars. You know, when all the Marines are gathered around, I got to go do things that tourists don't usually get to do because they're on a circuit. But I got to meet the people, and I got to see the different countries. And a couple years later, after I was out of the Marine Corps, and once I got into my legal business and everything, and I got a phone call from my friend's niece. And they told me that, you know, I never got a chance to go back after I got out of the Marine Corps. And they told me that she was found on her kitchen floor. She died of apparent something or another. And it killed me inside because I had so many problems after I got out of the Marine Corps. After college, you know, I was going to college, I was doing business stuff. I was still talking to her every day on the phone. She helped me get through some of the worst case situations I was in when I couldn't trust anybody else. I could trust her. And I was told my friend died. My friend died, and I hadn't been to see her in years because everything else in life became a priority. I still stayed in contact with her up until probably a couple months before she died. I didn't know. But it broke me up inside because she was family. But I stayed in contact. My point is this: stay in contact with your loved ones, your friends, your family. I do my best to stay in contact with my Marine Corps buddies all over the United States, whether we're getting along or not, or whether they got attitudes or not, or drinking or not, or I annoy them or not. I still love them. I'm still going to be there for them no matter what happens. Why? Because they're family to me. My immediate family and stuff like that, I love them like no other. They're the greatest thing to me in my entire world. Now, why all this all of a sudden am I telling you this? Because so many times in life, we get so preoccupied with what we're doing, we have the cats in the cradle syndrome. We do everything but what we're supposed to do. We see everybody except the people we need to be around. We hang out with those people that put us down. But when it comes to getting a hold of our friends and our true family, we don't even take the time to pick up the phone to call them. We don't take the time to send them a message saying, hey, you matter, you care. Every once in a while on Facebook, I try to send out messages to friends and family, and I use their names so they know at that moment in time, I'm thinking of them and that they matter to me. And you'd be surprised what pops in my head of people I haven't heard from or seen from in many, many years. And they're like, why all of a sudden? Because you matter. And that's what we need to start doing in society, is letting people know that they matter. Treat them with kindness. Treat a stranger like they're our family. And go out there and just, it's not about what your political beliefs are. It's not about the color of your skin or what your sexuality is or who you love and who you don't love. It's about kindness can go very, very far. A lot of people say, well, you're Catholic. How come you're, I'll say this, you know, I don't have a problem with gay marriage and stuff like that. No, I am not. But I have friends that saved my life. I have friends that are, and that's what they like, and that's who they are. Is that right? Is that, I don't know, I don't care. As long as they're happy, I will defend their freedoms to have or do whatever they want to. I'm not always going to be right, but I am going to defend my friends when they need a friend. Okay? If a woman wants to be a boss in a company, I've got a daughter. The reason why I'm not sexist is because my sister is a lot smarter and a lot stronger than I am. And I've got a beautiful 11-year-old daughter who someday she comes to me and says, I didn't get the job because I'm a woman. I'm going to go crazy. Why? Because that's not the society. That's not what I'm raising. And if somebody wants to preach religion on it, I would rather have no religion than see my daughter, my friends, or family ever become a second-class citizen to anybody. So if somebody wants to ask me, how do I feel, how do I believe? Well, let's put it this way. I have God, I have a religion. I have faith, and I have hope. But at no time will I take somebody's freedoms away from them. At no time am I going to down somebody because of what their sexuality is, or who they believe in, or what they believe in. As long as they, you know, stay true to themselves, that's all that really matters. But right now, what you need to know is it doesn't matter who you are. The reason why I'm bringing this up is I have a lot of friends and family. They see me mentioning God this and God that, and they think, uh-oh, he's going to be mad at me for the way I... No, I'm not. You see, the God that I know never judges anybody. He loves us equally. He loves us fairly. He gives us a chance. However, I'm a true believer in he wants us to do as much hard work as possible, and he wants us to love as much as we can. It's not about anything other than he gave us an opportunity. That's what it's about. It's not about who I pray to. It's not about who I marry or who I date. It's not about what my sexuality is or the color of my skin or what country I come from. It's about being kind. It's about going out there and offering the other cheek. It's about basically living in a cutthroat world, peaceful strength, and being able to take on the world and not care what other people think. It's about doing your own thing and not following the crowd. Because you matter. You are important. And my friend Kitty taught me that. And because she was such a great, wonderful woman, and by the way, she is not the same religion as me. And no, it was not a love interest or anything like that. Literally, just family. Just somebody that saw somebody in distress and wanted to be nice and wanted to be kind. And in that turn, I met one of my best friends in the entire world who later on passed on. But I'll always have the memories she shared with me. I'll always have that, here's somebody that lived in a town where nobody could stand Marines, and she took me under the wing and showed me, look, it's not that we don't like them. It's don't be better than everybody. Just be kind. Go out there and spread it forward. Don't sit there and screw anybody over. Don't sit there. You know what? Wealth will come. Success will come. As long as you get enough people what they want, they'll pull you to the top. I understand it's cutthroat out there. I live in a cutthroat world. I'm a cutthroat person. I'm a very, very territorial person. But I'll give everybody the benefit of that. Why? Because each and every one of you matters. Each and every one of you makes a difference. And each and every one of you has the opportunity to go out there and be better today than who you were yesterday. Each and every one of you matter. That's all you've got to know. And you need to treat other people like they matter too. Why? Because that's how we get success. That's how we get to the top. You know how many people went to bat for me when I had my first businesses and everything else? Why? Because I treated them with respect. I treated them with kindness. And when I needed them the most, they were there. And when they needed me, I made sure I was there. Now it's your turn. Let's all do our part to make the world a better place. You cannot change the world in whole, but you can change the world by starting with one person at a time. Kind of like the old saying, which is beaten to our head. A journey of 1,000 miles starts with one step. Your journey starts today. Start going after success and understand you have to fail in order to get success. Otherwise, you'll never know what true success is. Okay, everybody, I gotta go and take this inside, and I will talk to each and every one of you later, okay? God bless. Talk to everybody soon. Bye now.